Damn, they have arrived. What? They're all around. So many aliens living in your town.
Hello, weirdos out there in Weirdo Land. How the heck is everybody doing? I hope you're getting weird tonight.
Oh, always.
Always.
All right, well, I want to jump right into it. I mean, enough with the, hey, how you doing? Let's get right into the...
Yeah, I see that.
Let's get into the fire, Vicki. Everybody wants to know what the hell is going on with the ghost situation here at my house. And I got to tell you, I don't know if I have any evidence to prove to the people, but it's getting very weird at the point where we have to do the hotel thing very soon.
Okay. Yeah. Just let me know when you're ready.
I can't sleep, but here's the issue. I have family in town right now. My dad's in town. I've got other people in town. So it's very family orientated right now, and I can't really leave because they're in town. I can't be a dick. Hey, I'm going to go to the hotel, guys, while you stay here with the demons in my closet. I don't think that's cool, Denny's.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Are they experiencing anything?
Well, it's only been about 2 days. So my dad used to live with me at the other townhouse. He definitely experienced stuff at the other place. Him and Chewy saw that smoke thing. I wasn't smoking weed. Denny's wasn't there.
It wasn't my smoke
but
thing.
it was a real thing for my dad to say, yeah, I was sitting on the couch and I saw something floating by. It looked like an entity, and then all of a sudden it dissipated. Chewy's barking at it, and then it happened a few other times. You know, I don't know, Beckett. You look like, I got 3 heads.
I believe dogs. I think animals are pretty perceptive when it comes to that kind of thing.
I would agree with that.
Is Beckett too low tonight?
I can turn him
I
up.
want to get that velvet voice on this shit.
Just don't make me laugh.
There we go. Do not laugh in the microphone. Seriously, you're going to cost you about $400 on a microphone.
It might be a good filter to create.
So, Vicki, people want to know any updates, any EVPs. What is the game plan for what's going on at my place? To catch people up, maybe give a little precursor, a quick precursor, and then what's the plan?
We are still getting some of the audio off of the recorders and turning them into their own little files as EVPs. Those EVPs, a lot of them have been sent to... Yeah, do you hear that buzz too?
Yeah, I hear a buzz. I hear...
It's almost like a fan running inside my
ears. It's the
ears.
air conditioning, I think.
It's like
that
all right,
kicked
super
them
so
loud.
I'm going to go ahead and turn off the air.
You want me to run up? I'll turn it up.
Ariel, you'll do it.
look at that.
Our producer, Ariel. Give it up for Ariel.
Woo!
She's our producer. She's going to turn off the air condition. I just want to go and pre-sell this. We're going to do a little thing called Date Ariel. She's looking for somebody to date.
Nice.
Yes. And how old, Ariel? 26. She's 26. She's single, and she's looking to mingle and eat Pringles.
That's a good age.
Is
Oh,
it-
26 is like the prime.
Yeah. A
It's a good-
26-year-old Beckett.
Oh, jeez.
just-
Raising Cain.
I think for a girl, late 20s is the perfect sweet spot. I think guys like more mid 30s, early mid 30s.
I mean, a 26-year-old Beckett. I mean, just plowing through.
Such a heartthrob.
I was doing dating shows back then.
Okay, Vicki, as you were, because we had a lot of noise there.
Okay, so I have sent some of the audio clips to one of the people who are going to help. I've sent the video clips to the people who are going to help. They're sending it on to the next level because this is not a simple operation here. This, like I've told people, this is not simple human spirits that we're dealing with. So I have to make sure that everything is all in order so that when it comes time to bring in the help, everything is all ready and they can go straight into get rid of this.
Now, Vicki, I'm getting a lot of shit from a lot of people who want to see the video. They do not agree with you not releasing the video. You have gotten enough hate in the last week, and I have gotten enough hate equally. Both of us have gotten a lot of hate. The hate that comes for me is people who do believe in the spiritual world, in the ghost world, that think I'm mocking it, think I'm not taking it seriously. I can honestly say, I just heard it turn off.
It's so nice.
Oh, it's so nice.
It's so
Thank you for
nice.
turning that off. We're going to get you a man. But for me, people annoy me, Vicki. I'm working on it. I try not to let people annoy me, but fuck, man, they annoy me. So when I get all these Johnny-come-latelys saying, hey, I want to see this footage. You guys are full of shit. Oh, Vicki is just taking time to doctor that shit. That's what I'm getting.
You can get that all you want because I can't even get it off the DVR right now, so I can't doctor anything. And anybody, like I said, anybody you want to come and meet me, you want to come and sit through all that hour. We ran your cameras from the time this show started until the next day. So if they want to sit and watch every single camera and go through it, they are more than happy to. It is in its original form on my DVR.
I would love to get Vicki into the studio, music studio. Get in that booth because I can feel the anger. I can feel the heat. I want to get you in there. I want you laying down a track.
No, you know what my problem is? My problem is not about. I have no problem taking the heat if they're saying that I'm misinterpreting what I see on that video, if I'm misinterpreting these EVPs. But when you bring it personal and you say that I'm faking something, you are attacking my character. I've been doing this since 2007, and I would never, ever, in any way, shape, or form, fake any evidence. In fact, I've thrown out evidence that would have been like borderline evidence. It wasn't convincing enough to me to go, wow. And I have thrown it out. I wouldn't let investigators use it. It wasn't in our report because it wasn't strong enough for me to use. So to me, they are attacking my character. And the fact, first of all, I was born without the lying gene. I just don't have it. I've been in 2 of your movies. I was born without the acting gene as well. Okay? So I'm not faking this.
Don't you dare cut yourself short. You're a beautiful actress. You're a beautiful actress.
I want a bigger part next time then.
You're not that good. No, I'm just exactly. And there goes the microphone.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so what do you say to someone like that one clown in there that you're going back and forth in the chat room, Dustin, who says, Vicki, is it just some kind of dirty hippie,
Well,
gypsy?
what exactly am I gaining from this? First of all, I don't charge anybody for what I do with the paranormal. I'm not posting this in order for somebody to talk about it and possibly put me on a TV show or some kind of garbage like that. What am I gaining from it?
You're not
Absolutely
here,
nothing.
You're not here for the glam.
I'm not.
You're not. You're here for the truth.
I don't even have a parking spot out there.
Can I get a hell yeah for Vicki?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah for Vicki.
Hell yeah.
Can we get Ariel a man? Can we get Ariel a man?
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
We all had to make sure what you said there.
So Becca, you hear all of this. You hear people coming down on our sweet, precious Vicki. Thoughts?
Like I said last time, I think that I'm impressed by how seriously, you can't fake getting upset when you're skirting the lines of the rules that she said is important to play for a successful investigation and cleaning. Like I'm sitting next to her, so I can feel the emotion and the belief in the process and all of it. And I think that's important.
You are not going to get me singing "Ain't Nothing But a Deep." I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It wasn't that part. It was when you gave the open invitation that I had a problem with.
So what did? Because a lot of people were saying last week felt a little contention between Jay Bird and Vicki. What did I do during the podcast that made you annoyed? Because visibly you were annoyed. Visibly, I was just trying to have a good time. That's what a couple whiskeys will do, y'all. What did I do wrong?
You gave an open invitation for whatever was here.
What did I
to do
say,
whatever
though?
they want to. I'd have to go back and listen to.
Was
You
it the-
basically said, come here and whatever.
But again,
That's all
Bird.
it takes. When you're dealing with something that's not human, that's all it takes is that one little tiny opening.
so the people that were critiquing me, saying, Bird, you're not taking it seriously. You're being a dick. You're doing Demon Party jams, a Tupac parody. Look it up. It was a Tupac parody.
That's a great song.
What song is it?
Ain't nothing but a G
looking.
thing, baby.
Nope.
No, ain't nothing but a gangsta pod.
Thank you.
That's so funny.
Beck is so wrong, but you're right.
I know my Tupac.
Ain't nothing but a gangsta pop.
I'll be the perfect white dad.
You are extraordinarily white.
Totally.
What did you say it was?
Were we gonna try and sing something a couple podcasts ago, and then Javer got his guitar out, and he goes to,
What?
and he
Yeah,
goes,
you never did
"Yeah, this
anything?
isn't gonna work."
Oh, you guys were going to sing Third Eye Blind.
What song
it's
did
not
he?
even a
What
ver-
song did he think the gangster party was?
Ain't nothing but a G
G-Thing
thing.
baby. do me a favor, get out and go to South Beach and get a tuna roll.
I actually like Tupac a lot, actually, so that's disappointing.
Tupac is awesome.
Yeah.
I digress, but
I'm disappointed in
I love me
myself
some
for that.
Tupac. I love me some Biggie. I do not have a dog in the fight. I like both of them equally. Do you have a pick?
Tupac.
I'm more Tupac.
Yeah, I'm a Tupac or a Dre. I was pretty big Dre.
I love Dre.
Yeah.
Ariel?
I like that West Coast sound, though.
Are we too old? Is it okay?
Well, my brother looks like Biggie, and he listened to it as I was growing up, so I'm a Biggie fan.
Her
Okay.
brother listened.
I love it.
Biggie's more happy. Tupac's more like, it's very intellectual, and it's like very, I don't know.
Well, back then, music was about getting the message out.
Right.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
so now the message, our generation, I guess, argues about the hip hop music now because the message isn't really there like it was in the early '90s to the late '90s.
I'm gonna do an impromptu a Biggie sing along with Beckett. You have to fill in the blank.
of which artist?
Biggie Smalls. So I'm gonna go.
I think more of a Tupac guy, but
No,
okay.
but this is such a popular
You
song.
already failed the Tupac
I
one,
know.
so.
So
I can only go down from here.
I'm gonna say the beginning of the song. You have to fill in the blank, and even if you don't know, just go with it. All right, here we go. Biggie, 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 can't you see?
Sometimes your words just hypnotize me.
Snap.
That's an easy one, though.
That was
That was a big hit,
that
though.
was good. That was awesome. Okay, back on track with the ghost.
Back to Ghost.
Now, when you did walk into my place today, you did feel some stuff.
I actually, when I parked the car and was coming up the walkway, I had a lot of anxiety. I didn't feel that way last week. I did feel it this week. And I wasn't overly happy to be here.
I mean, I'm very happy to see you.
But, and I've never run from anything on an investigation. In fact, I don't jump, I don't react, I don't do anything. So to say that I'm scared would be going way overboard, but to say that I'm being extra cautious would be more accurate.
Am I mocking what's going on here if I would to do this? No, hold on. Hold on, because you don't want to be here, and there's possible demons here, so... Vicky's running from the devil. Is that mocking? Borderline mocking?
Borderline.
Okay.
Borderline.
At least it's not inviting.
Or
I'm not trying to invite.
That's the problem.
But I started to write my own parody, The Devil Went Down to Jason.
There you go. There you go.
Or
I haven't finished it yet.
Or the real dirty version, the devil went down on Jason. I'm kidding.
You'd like it.
Send the emails to Kevin Ralston. He has nothing to do with this podcast, but send him the emails.
Send them late.
Okay, so now we're going to move this thing along. We're going to get me in a hotel.
Right.
We're going to film me again, so y'all know I can't do it yet, but maybe the weekend?
I'm actually getting an extra piece of equipment to be able to use in the hotel room.
Okay.
So if we could do it the following weekend, that would actually work out better.
What are your thoughts on doing Tuesday? Maybe we all go to a hotel room or a motel. I feel like it's real creepy. So let's get a motel in a real weird part of town. Possibly there's a bit of murder there. I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there.
Well, one of the things that we debated and that I consulted with somebody is whether we should have gotten a room, an adjoining room next to yours.
Let's do it.
And so that we were able to monitor live while you were sleeping instead of having to review it later to actually see what was going on live. That was one of the things that we debated doing.
Denny's, you've been real quiet. Thoughts?
I've been soaking it in, man. You guys are dropping some ghost knowledge. So I'm curious for the the outcome. I'm like the listeners. I just want the results.
He's a voyeur.
He is. Oh, Becky, he loves to watch.
Oh yes, I like to watch ghost hunts.
He likes to watch Ghost.
Yeah, just in their
Ghost
environments.
loving.
Like Demi Moore?
Would you watch ghost porn if it was real? It's two spirits totally going at it. Every position. I know Beckett's
Every
answer.
position.
I know Beckett's answer.
What does that look like? It's just like translucent. They're a little.
Do they look like
see-through.
Slimer or do they look like humans?
Denny, that's a great question. Slimer, for you younger people, is from Ghostbusters, 1984, I believe.
Oh, I thought it was a porn term.
Beckett.
Jeez, Beckett.
Beckett.
What are we talking
He's
about?
referring to bukkake.
I don't know what that means.
Look up Slimer. I think you kind of
hold
just
on.
nailed
There's
it.
a lot going on. Hold on. Let's reel this conversation in.
Back.
Beckett doesn't know what bukkake means. Denny's just bringing up bukkake. That's on you. You must explain it now.
Well, so I mean, people can look this up too. I don't know if I have to necessarily.
You gotta, yeah.
So I mean, it's a
Keep it
gathering
clean, keep it
gathering of people, and they express their love for one individual,
Got it.
and they just let it. They want it on them.
They let it fly, Beckett.
They want
Got
it
it.
flying.
Got it.
See, we're learning here on the Weird and Whatever
Yeah,
podcast.
the more you know.
Yes.
Now, the chat room, I want to give a shout out to the chat room that always is so loyal. Make some noise for the chat room.
Ooh, chat room.
Yeah. We love you guys. You guys are, without a doubt, helping keeping the Weird and Whatever podcast going. If you guys have any questions for any of us or any of these subjects, please put them in the comment section. We will have the question of the day. We had a good one last week. We had a lot of comments from
Yeah,
the
we
people.
did.
The question last week was, do you guys think something really is going on at my place? I'm a radio guy. I'm a goofy guy. I clearly want to get ratings up. I'm openly saying that to everybody. But I can honestly say that there's something weird going on here as well. So the question was, is something really going on? Vicki, touch upon that.
Yeah, I mean, definitely we have evidence that there's something. We have something to verify what you have been going through. We have video proof of what you have been claiming. And we also have audio. I mean, there's not much more unless we bring everybody in and actually watch it happen every night to prove this is really going on. This is real stuff.
Getting a couple Twitter DMs. Hey, Denny's, calm down.
Oh yeah.
And Denny's, I think it's time for some
Denny's
Random Facts.
All right. You guys remember that show, Malcolm in the Middle?
Yep.
Come on.
Well, so I found this fact out. I don't know how I feel about this. Actor Frankie Muniz, the star of Malcolm in the Middle.
The low budget. He's the low budget Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that because even
he's the
Stevens was
low
at it that
budget.
time.
Yeah, definitely.
That's funny. Well, so he suffers from long-term memory loss. He used to be a football player, and he suffered so many concussions as a kid that he can barely recall filming that series.
Wow.
Is how bad his memory loss is.
No, he looks like a pretty big football player.
Yeah, I know, right?
He looks like he's like tearing it up.
I think that's why he got
That had
out
to
of
be
it.
That's why I got hit a lot.
Yeah, he got hit in the head a lot, and he can barely recall that. In fact, he can't remember the first award he won. He has losing his memory as he ages.
Would you prefer short-term memory loss or long-term memory loss if you had to pick?
Ooh,
That's
I'd
a
say
great
that's
question.
tough because long term I think is converted. So
Vicki, have you noticed during Denny's Random Facts, here comes Beckett. Kind of
I
trying
know, I'm telling you.
throwing
Kind of
anyone in.
trying to take Denny's down a little bit. Very passive aggressive. Denny's.
It's been happening.
It's always such good conversation pieces. It spurs such great conversation.
Denny's, take it from me. Watch your back.
You ever see that movie Memento?
I don't know if
I have. With the guy.
Yep.
He's always a murderer.
He's very gaunt.
Yes. Danny.
I think it's Guy Pearce.
No. All right. As you were.
Well, so anyway, so in that movie, he has short-term memory loss. He can't remember anything. In fact, he has to tattoo everything onto his body, like even brush your teeth. So he's not to spoil any of the movie. If you guys haven't seen it, it's very good. It's actually shot backwards, but I digress. That movie, so short-term memory loss would be awful.
Yeah.
Let's see here. There's a term.
Do you know what causes short-term memory loss?
What's up?
Do you know what causes short-term memory loss?
What causes it? I think head injuries can definitely cause
I
it.
think
But,
marijuana does.
oh, does it?
Was that your first factoid?
Yes.
Okay, so again, I forget to set this up.
Oh, yeah.
Vicki is our educator. She will grade Denny's on every factoid from A to F. And on the first factoid, Vicki, man, I don't want to.
Yeah, well,
I don't want to sway you, but
I mean, I had never heard that, so he did, come up with something I had never heard. It's a little sad, so I got to mark him
Steering.
down, for that's kind of sad that he can't remember all that great
I
time in his
know.
life. So I'm going
That's
to go
what-
with a C.
I did precursor with. I don't know how I feel about this. It really hurt my heart to read that.
Yeah, that's sad.
Crushing.
I'm giving a C as well.
Yeah, Denny's bringing down the room.
Well,
I hope you got something better, Peace Train.
Well, from the pain is born happiness. So let's see. Well, here, I'll jump to a goofy one for you guys. You guys even a goofy movie today?
Give us the good stuff.
So I don't know how you guys feel about this. I brought it a fact last week, but in the same vein, if you want to learn about monsters and ghouls in real life, you can go and get your PhD in parapsychology at the University of Edinburgh in England. You can get your PhD in monsters and ghouls. How do you feel about universities doing these?
That's some English shit.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Well, parapsychology has been around for a long time. There's some famous people who actually have the degree in parapsychology. Now, they tend to come more from the skeptic point of view, usually, if you have the parapsychology degree.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, they actually come more from that.
The more of trying to disprove before
Correct.
approve.
Right.
Kind of like your vein.
Yeah,
of-
the way I do. I
yeah.
try to find every logical possible before I actually label it paranormal.
This just in. Denny's wife is in the chat room,
Oh,
and
yeah.
she is trying to outfact this guy.
All right, what's she
Ooh.
dropping?
Jen, your wife, comes in here and says, "Did you know that if you play Memento on loop, it blends seamlessly?"
No, she's trolling on me because I constantly drop that movie 12 Monkeys. If you play 12 Monkeys, it infinitely loops. That's what she's trolling on me for.
What happens if you play it on loop?
It repeats forever. The movie's made to repeat forever, which
Bruce
is what makes
Willis.
that movie awesome.
You ever
Yeah,
see that movie, 12
that's
Monkeys?
Terry
That's
Gilliam.
Yeah,
Brad
put
Pitt was phenomenal in 12
That,
Monkeys.
put that
He's
in,
awesome.
Put that on repeat.
Put it on repeat?
It's
It literally ends the moment it starts.
Interesting.
Yes.
What does that even mean?
She's trolling though, but Memento, the director's cut, if you get the director's cut, it plays it in actual order instead of reverse order.
It's like the word race car.
Yes, there's a term for that. I forget it.
Yeah, I
but-
forgot the term too.
Vicky, I mean, I'm
We're having
annoyed.
like a fact on.
Not only am I lost, I'm annoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my neck's getting tired from going back and forth.
Yeah,
between the two.
like, my whole question was, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
Alright.
Race car spelled backwards is race car.
It is.
Wow, mind blown. All right. Next, so is Bob.
How do you guys feel about this modern term? It's called a hypochondriac. It's a person who compulsively searches the internet for information about a particular real or imaginary disease that they feel they have or don't have. It's because of the internet age, people are now going on MD Now and getting addicted
They're
to
freaking
searching out
Yeah.
terms of what they could potentially have.
I'd rather not know.
Vicky, grade.
I can't know. That's why I never go to that.
That's a B.
It's a B plus for me because
Yeah, it's a B.
I'm actually one of those people. If I
I
go
feel
on,
like, yeah.
if I go on the internet long enough, I will find a disease that I have, Beckett.
Yep. No, there's a syndrome that med school students have because they study all these diseases and they actually think that they have them because they're like, oh, the symptoms are shortness of breath, headache in the mornings, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh my God, I have that.
It's like
And they're
psychosomatic.
Right. So they start thinking, they become almost like a hypochondriac with everything.
Did anybody hear that?
What was it?
I don't know.
I don't know, but it was at the same time I just got super, super dizzy.
Yeah, I just heard something up in my room.
Was it that Beckett fact? Dropping everybody?
Rolling down the steps.
Denny's pipe down.
All right, yeah, hold on.
We're being serious right now. I'm just kidding. No, I just heard something in my room, and then I'm just throwing that out there.
And I would technically be right up above
Underneath
your
it.
bathroom, right? I'm right underneath.
Yes.
yeah,
that.
you are
So
actually.
I just got like super, super, super dizzy.
So the bathroom's kind of a weird thing. I actually changed bathrooms because every time I go in there, it feels like there's 75 eyeballs looking my ass and nards up and down, Beckett. And I'm not gonna lie, they ain't that good.
Well, Bobby Joe actually had, if you want to call it a vision when she was in there, she actually saw something crawling up from the mirror, and it she could see its hands, and it was kind of crawling up like that, up from the mirror.
Oh, so
when she was in there.
It definitely wants to see my nards. 'Cause that's the best perspective, Beckett.
Is this affecting your sex life, though? Am I allowed to ask that?
So yeah, you can. We can delve into that. I'm not dating anybody. I've kind of taken a break from the game for the last couple months. It's I don't know, man. I'm just not. I'm not there. I'm off. My equilibrium, my whole fucking vibe is just off. Everything is off right now. So I don't need some kind of bullshit trying to get involved with somebody on top of a demon party in my bathroom and in my closet. Yeah, it's just the sleeping's been really bad here, and there's been a weird thing that's been going on in my sleeping that's odd. And it hasn't happened until the last week. If you want to get into that, I don't know if you will have an answer for this, but when I fall asleep now, it's not every time, but it's almost okay. For example, it happened on Monday. It didn't happen on Tuesday. I tried to take a nap today for about 20 minutes, which I kind of got under, and it happened again today. So it's almost like every other day. But as I'm going under, it's a very vivid hole. It's almost like a black. It looks like clouds, and then all of a sudden, it starts to get orange in the middle, and it starts to want to suck me in, and I can see it, and I am being sucked in, and I am awakening as this is happening, and I'm I can't breathe, but I can almost kind of feel it. And I know I sound crazy, and I get it for all these fucking Johnny-come-latelys that say I'm making this up. I get that it sounds like I'm making it up. I would think listening to somebody would be making it up, but it is happening a lot.
Right. Well, there's two possible explanations. First of all, I'm still really, really dizzy. And usually if I get dizzy on location, that means there's an open vortex. So that what you see there could represent that vortex.
Is it possible that the tarot cards right by your left elbow could be possible?
No, they've been here since I started. It's just literally all of a sudden. In fact, I'm probably going to go upstairs in a few minutes.
Can you go up there only because I keep hearing shit? And I just want to make sure that,
Because I want to know why I'm this dizzy. And like I said, I should be right under your bathroom.
So these tarot cards, though, I should not be worried about these?
I did not get, the only thing that I got from the tarot cards is I got that they have been used to open a vortex at some point, whether the person knowingly did it or didn't realize they had that power.
I had a full-on tarot reading here with these cards about 2.5 months ago.
Well, when I picked those up, because remember we talked about how I got dizzy when I touched them, which means to me they opened a vortex.
What does that mean, though, for the people that are playing?
A vortex is basically, right now, there's our side and there's the other side, and there's basically this wall. And when you open up a vortex, it's like opening a door. And sometimes, like, we have relatives that come to visit us in visitation.
Hold on. Go on.
We have visitors, we have loved ones that visit us in visitation, and when they open that door, sometimes they forget to close it. You can also open a vortex by doing ceremonies, whether it's with, you believe it's through the tarot cards, if people use Ouija boards. You open up that other side, and anything can crawl through there if it is not closed up.
So if you do go up into my room, just know it's laundry month. And it's a little weird in there. There might be a couple snacks on the side of my bed.
Okay. Well, that's typical.
Maybe. Yeah, I know. I forget. When you guys were videotaping me, there's a couple of things that I was doing in my natural habitat. I hope you guys don't judge me too hard.
You're single. You're good.
I'm just a man. Yeah, you're right. I changed my game. If I was in a relationship, I'd change my game up so slightly. Denny's, give us another random fact as Vicki checks out the demons in my closet.
Let's see here. This is just a quickie, kind of shorty one here. Montana is the only U.S. state that allows two people to marry each other without actually being physically present at the wedding. What do you guys think of that?
I'm sorry. I'm slightly distracted only because
we're checking on a demon upstairs.
Yeah, I keep.
That's
keep
why
hearing,
I did the Montana one.
I just keep hearing shit up there, and I'm getting really weird feelings. So.
The two people don't have to be in presence with
They
each
don't
other.
have to. They don't have to be at the wedding. You can get married without having to be there physically. Isn't that weird? It's the only state in the U.S.
It's interesting.
Yeah, very weird. I'm listening for a scuffle.
Chewy, you okay?
Scuffling.
Chewy did not want Bobby Joe to come up here that day. She got the equipment.
I don't know if the mics are picking that up,
So I
but
don't know if he got up because I came up here.
Vicky's yelling
Can you guys hear Vicky? Vicky, do me a favor. Just go like this. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. and let's just hear. Can people hear Mickey? Go. Or how about this? Oh, Vicky. Oh, Vicky, you're so fine.
Do the high harmony.
Can you guys hear Vicky? Go ahead.
I actually cannot get past your door. There's so much energy, like hitting me as soon as I open up the door.
She says there's a lot of energy blocking her from
Denny's.
entering the door. I don't know if they can hear. I'm trying to keep everyone posted.
Okay, Vicky, come on down. We don't have to.
What did they say?
We don't have to do this.
Can they
bullshit.
hear?
I
don't
think they
know.
can hear. I can hear in my headphones.
Yeah, I can hear.
I can definitely hear. Y'all can. Yes, they can hear. They can hear. They actually can hear you very
Perfect. That's
good.
awesome.
I
Yeah.
actually left your door open because having it closed, all that energy was backing up into your room, and literally when I opened the door, it like
Swoosh down.
Well, maybe we should keep it closed.
I don't want it building.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, introducing Bitch Boy Beckett. Beckett's all scared. Close the door.
Like I said, don't poke the bear. That pizza guy knocking last time scared the crap out of me.
Oh, I think we're in the middle of a story.
Yeah, it's like a quiet part. And some guy raps on the door.
Is it possible that during the podcast, it gets almost thirsty? The spirit gets thirsty. Like, look at me, bitch. You know what I'm saying?
He's a gay
We're
guy.
giving it attention.
like a Kardashian, very thirsty.
Yeah, we're giving it attention. Actually, I was gonna, if it weren't so annoying, I would have actually brought my spirit box and had it running in the background.
Bring it next time, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I have to turn it down because it's very annoying. Oh, and I also wanted to clarify because there was somebody in, I think it was the KBJ chat.
Oh,
It's
they
the,
were
wild,
talking-
it's the Wild West out
Vicky,
there.
do not engage with those motherfuckers.
No, this is an educational moment. So someone said something about, well, maybe does that thing, they were referring to the spirit box that I used to get the EVP, and they said, does that thing have a filled vocabulary? No, it's a broken radio. All it does is scan through the channels continuously. It doesn't have, they might be thinking of an Ovilus, which does have a predetermined vocabulary that's in it. The spirit box is a broken radio. There's nothing I can do to manipulate it. It's just a broken radio.
Vicky, just so you know, I always have your back. I know you are 150,000%. Just know, no matter how legit you are, you could literally, you could have a ghost dry humping Beckett right now on video, and people would not.
Oh, I know,
believe
and
it.
they're not the people that I'm catering to.
Oh shit! I just broke my microphone. I just bitch slapped my microphone. So there's a little noise in the chat room. There's a lot of people that want to see Beckett go up to my
Oh,
closet.
jeez.
Beckett.
I'm about to have a church.
Go ahead.
Will you go in the closet? Just go in the closet.
You don't even have to go on.
It took me 37 years to get out of it.
Will you do me a favor?
Oh, did he just come out on the show?
No.
Can you do me a favor? Will you just go up into my closet and scream, walk into my closet and go, I'm Bitch Boy Beckett, and then walk down? People would love that.
But then I wouldn't be Bitch Boy Beckett anymore.
No, people, I know, respect it.
We'll see how fast he does it.
Beckett. You,
Go right now?
yeah, do it. So walk
I'll
out there.
use the camera and follow.
If you judge my room, though, how it looks, we're not friends anymore.
You guys have already warned me.
All right, go into my closet, but we have to hear you. Yeah, Denny, do not get. Don't do too much. Because there's a lot of shit in there. Denny's, there's a lot of shit in my room right now. Okay, do not show how dirty my closet is, Denny's. Damn it! All right, here we go.
Can you guys see it?
No, just do it.
Oh, bitch, boy, Becky, bitch!
Oh, there he is. Oh,
So you just called that ghost a bitch. I hope no ghost attached to you, Becky. Vicky, do you condone that, or am I?
Did you bring that blessed rosary that we talked about last week?
No, I am wearing an energy crystal, though.
Okay, well, I hope it's strong enough.
Now, what I did right there, would that be considered taunting the demons in my closet?
Yes.
So, are you mad at me? Or you just kind of...
I'm used to it at this point. I mean, what can I do?
Vicky, we're like Hall & Oates.
I mean,
We're gonna...
there's
Damn.
nothing I can do.
Denny's had the dick cam on.
Yeah, I didn't mean to film your hog while you're down there.
The Beckett Pecker. Oh my gosh. Oh, everybody's convinced there's no way you're not getting haunted tonight at your place.
I'm sleeping here.
Do you need a shot? I would not sleep here.
You
Oh,
won't
yeah.
sleep here.
Those succubusses want to get down on some Beckett.
Oh, there's one way to find out.
by the way.
Oh, he's talking big now, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Well, according to the cam.
Big boy Beckett.
Can you set the record straight? Because I'm so tired of getting these messages. Is Beckett single? Am I his type? I swear, I've been to 9 countries. I travel.
I actually don't have a type.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, hold on. Somebody in the chat room says, Jaybird, you've broken Vicki. No, I have not broken Vicki. Believe you me, she's extraordinarily strong.
Yeah. No, I just have to work extra hard to undo everything that you've done.
Oh, you get my
You're creating
act.
more steps, man.
You get what I'm trying to do over here.
I get what you're trying to do. I get it.
Maybe the guy ends up having a sense of humor. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Oh, no.
No.
You know
No.
these. You know these
No.
comedic demons. They're very.
Like a Freddy Krueger.
They're a rare breed. Freddy Krueger's a rough.
He was funny, right?
Yeah, he cracked jokes.
I mean,
He had like some dark humor, right?
yeah.
Okay, you'd want to go toe to toe
Literally.
with Freddy Krueger?
No, not at all.
Okay. How about you have a chance to go toe to toe with Kruger or Voorhees?
Who's Voorhees?
Jason.
Oh,
What broke?
What was that?
What was that?
I don't think anything broke. I think your water bottle just hit Yeti.
We're good. That was
He's like, please don't tell me it's one of my figures.
that was. You're right.
Because there was an Akbar on the floor.
I
there.
know. If I break my fingers, I take it really hard. I don't even know what we're talking about. Vicky, get this back on train.
well, speaking of your figures, I mean, the first thing I saw when I came in here is one of yours that was supposed to be way up there behind something was on the floor in my spot.
The last week, all of my everything, dolls, figures, they're all flying off. It's almost kind of like the ghost or the demons know I love my figures. Just being, so slightly a dick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, Dennis, another fact.
Let's see what you guys think about this. Fiji lost its original Declaration of Independence, and after 5 years of scouring in government files, they embarrassingly had to ask the UK for another copy so they could celebrate their 20 years of independence.
Dang, Denny's put us in a silent movie.
I know there's a lot
All
to
right.
take in there, but
All right,
that's
Vicky, do me a
pretty,
favor. Judge Charlie Chaplin over here.
that's pretty hilarious. But go on. What do you think? What do you think?
Oh,
I'm trying to
shit.
make-
Is that an F? Oh, damn.
An F? You guys don't like Fiji facts?
That was the only letter I could make other than an A, and it's not an A.
It's an F. Beckett, thoughts?
I like history. I give it maybe a C minus.
What's so cool about Beckett right now is I see the most beautiful spirit on his left shoulder. It has fangs, it has blood on his eyes. But you're
Go with. I'm leaving it here. I'm brushing my shoulder off.
Give us another one, Denny.
All right.
Underwhelm us once more.
I'll steer away from Fiji stuff here. Let's see. So when you first meet people, it's common for you to forget their name. It's a phenomenon called next in line effect. It's because when you're trying to impress somebody or leave a good first impression, you're too worried about your impression that you can't remember minor details.
I like that one.
All right.
No, I'm not overwhelmed or anything, so it's like a B+.
Also, Fiji had to get their documents back from the UK.
Don't sneak that in.
Because I love it, you know.
It's a,
Thought you guys would like that
it's a
one.
self-deprecating story, but when all the guys on the TV show got out of the limo, they had to do the introduction, and we went into the house
For the Bachelorette.
from the Bachelorette. Almost no one literally remembered what happened because there was, the driveway was hosed down so it looked better on camera. There was all these union camera guys. Like there was you've been preparing that moment for like 2 weeks, 3 days in the hotel. What are you gonna say? What are you gonna do?
Oh, yeah.
And then all these high beam lights on, you can't see anything, and so you get so nervous that you just kind of like spew your line that you've thought about what you're gonna say, and you're like, all right, I gotta go. And you get back. It's really hard to be confident, no matter how confident of a person you are. By the time you get back in the house, to Denny's fact, like you're just like,
It's
whoa,
over in a blur.
because you were like, oh man, how'd it go outside? You're like, I don't know, man. I just
I
got
know.
decided like as soon as I could,
There's shit that happens so quick, and I'll go to Denny and go, did I say anything terrible? Did I bring the whole ship down?
Yeah. No, there's a lot of if it's a big moment and there's a lot of pressure on it, it's really hard to not be in that exact moment. When it's over, you almost can't recall any of it. You have to let it come back to you over time.
Right.
Weirdly.
Which makes you like worried about witness testimony, right? Like when people go
That's
into
what they
really stressful
say.
situations, you know?
Plus, people are like leading the witness. There is a lot of they find loopholes in doing that where it doesn't. They have to leave it in as evidence, but it is steering people to feel a certain way.
Right.
So
And
you gotta be people are susceptible to that.
I am paraphrasing this, but I just read an article about how if you look into the history of people who go on the witness stand and they recollect a memory so many times, it's a good amount of times it's wrong.
Right.
And that's crazy to me.
Yep.
I think about things that happened to me as a kid, and I go, did it really happen that way? Or is that just my imagination running amok?
There's a thing called childhood amnesia, and what it is weirdly, people can remember the first half of their first year fragments. Every day that you get older, you forget more, but you can learn. But then from years 2 to like 6, your body forgets. You remember fundamentals, but you can't remember any specifics. And then it happens again from like age 8 to 10. There's like a period in that time frame where it's childhood amnesia. It's a weird thing that we have. Freud was like trying to explain it once as repressing possible sexual. Everything was him.
It's always
with
sex.
Everything comes back to sex, and I think he disproved himself on it. But that was his theory. It was some sort of sexually derived.
But we've always talked about it, though, how sex is kind of like this maniac drug that most people, I would say in the 90 percentile, they're driven by. It makes them crazy.
Well,
and there's a spectrum of crazy, in my opinion, where it makes you emotional, it makes you mean, it makes you jealous, and then it makes you murder.
Yeah.
Well, that's biology. I mean, other than I think dolphins, we're the only other species that scientists know of that actually have sex for pleasure.
They're so horny.
Yeah, all the time.
And I'm not talking about Miami Dolphins. I'm talking about real dolphins.
Yeah.
Miami Dolphins are pretty horny, too. I know a couple girls that have dated them. Danny says you were.
Well, I think Becca was dropping some dolphin fact.
Well, I'm just saying, like, every single species other than those two, humans and dolphins, actually have sex to procreate. Like, that is, like, ingrained in their biology. That's, like, their one goal and mission in life is to procreate.
Do you think, okay, let's take a year sample size for everybody in this room.
All right.
And there's times where you're not that horny.
Yep.
And then there's times you wake up or it's the nighttime. There are stirrings. You feel like a werewolf. Arr! Becky, let me hear you howl. Vicky, let me hear you howl. Vicky. Vicky, come on, Vicky. Come on. That sounds like a cow. That's not a werewolf.
It's a little tiny cat.
It's a fucking cow. Dennis, let me hear you howl. Ariel. Okay. Is she single?
Yeah, I think that's biology too. I think
Yeah.
we go through parts in our lives where the biological clock is ticking, so to speak.
I mean, I feel like I always can get to a horny spot, but there's always times where
In 20 seconds or less.
it's almost like you have a weird thing that comes over you that you just are extra sexual with your thoughts, with your feelings, with everything. Vicky?
I have short-term memory loss, so I can't comment on that.
That's
Nice.
because she smokes pot. No, I'm kidding. Totally kidding. That's a lie.
complete
If you're an educator listening, that's a lie.
Do you want one more?
Yeah, one more. Come
One
on.
more. Here's a fun one just for you guys.
You're doing pretty good, Denny.
Thanks. Yeah, I aim for the bronze. Let's see. The man who patented the Ouija board has a Ouija board on his headstone. It's pretty boss.
That's cool.
Wouldn't that be the ultimate Ouija board?
Vicky, this
No,
is your world.
I did
She
that one
doesn't- she
specifically
doesn't
'cause
like
I thought
Ouija
you
boards.
I thought Bird likes the Ouija board.
Well, it's almost pitiful the way he had two of his facts were trying to draw me in because they were paranormal based.
Damn!
Yeah.
That was a Bird fact. I know you don't like the
Oh,
Ouija
you're gonna throw me under the fucking bus?
board. Well, I pulled that one for you.
All right. Well, Denny's loves to play around with the Ouija board.
Yes, the Ouija board. I
I
like.
thought that'd get a bigger laugh.
That'd be cool to invent and something you could actually just like roll things and like have a grinder on it and like a little roller on it all on the same
Okay,
thing.
so you're
It's
not
like a whole
going-
board.
You're kind of going more with the intellectual angle at this. I like that.
Yeah, it's a
very
pun.
good.
It's a fun pun. It's great
Well,
marketing.
you ask it, should I smoke weed, and then it directs you to yes. That's what it does. It's the
That's the only thing that was
only
needed.
function.
Vi-
Dude, we've
Vicky-
come up with some pretty good inventions on this show.
I know.
Yeah.
I know we do. That's why we have to get it together.
Yeah.
We got to get it together. Vicky, are you a fan of Uno?
I don't play games. Seriously. Yeah. No, like the only games that I ever enjoyed my whole life, I like playing Rummy. That's my only card game. I liked Clue because then I could play detective. And Monopoly went on too long.
Yeah,
I
that's the
didn't
number
have-
one complaint.
I don't
Yeah.
play games. She
And
says.
backgammon.
You sound like one of my ex-girlfriends. I don't play games, Bird.
That's all she did.
She did nothing but play games.
Yeah, that's a red flag right there.
I do want to read a couple emails going on. Thank you guys to everyone sending the emails. You guys send really great stuff, and I apologize if we don't get your email on. There's just so much feedback, which is a very, very good thing. This is more of a Vicki email, I think. Hey, whatever. I always get a feeling when I see this one picture. It's almost like it gives me a message. Am I crazy, Luke from North Palm?
No. I mean, there's probably some reason why you're drawn to that picture. It may be someplace, it may be a past life thing. And it's, say, if it's a landscape, it may be some place that you visited. If it's a person, they may have a connection to you from a past life.
Do you think there's a lot of people listening right now that have a connection to pictures, that they don't
Yeah.
understand? They're trying to harness what they're feeling.
Well, someone actually sent me one, and they said, my mom had this picture. It's none of our relatives, but everybody in the family is completely drawn to this picture. What do you think about it? And again, I think it just probably has something to do with a past life thing.
Okay.
That's how Vicky gave me her opinion on my ex-girlfriend when I was going through it, which ended up being, like I said, really accurate. I brought in a picture.
Vicki, can you grab my hand really quick? Should I be dating right now? Grab me?
No.
Okay. You have a great gift.
That sounded.
Listen,
nice.
unless you're in a menage right now, don't get involved because you already got somebody.
There you go.
Okay. Should I sue is the title of this email.
Oh.
So,
It's your landowner.
damn,
I'm
Dennis,
kidding. I'm trolling.
you gotta bring my personal shit.
I almost didn't say because I thought it'd be.
I might or might not be in a lawsuit right now. It says, "Dear Weird Whatever, I am a vegan. I went to a place that serves vegan sandwiches. After eating about halfway through, I noticed that it tasted like eggs. Long story short, this restaurant is lying about what they are serving. I have proven it. They even admitted it. I wanted to ask Beckett, would he sue the restaurant, him being a vegan? Are you a vegan? You are a vegan?
A vegetarian.
Vegetarian, okay. So vegan is even more hardcore. They don't dick around.
By definition, you can't wear leather. You can't have honey. It's pretty strict.
If a vegan is eating a vegan meal and a bird flies by, they're not even allowed to eat that meal. That's how disciplined they are. All right, so they go on to say, because they are a vegan, I wanted to ask Beckett, would he sue the restaurant? I'm thinking about doing that, but I wanted to get y'all's opinion. Apparently, they ate some eggs. It was proven that it was eggs. They're pissed.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I'm not a big sue type person, but usually when you sue, you have to show damages. Is one of the requirements. I mean, not an attorney, but that's what I understand. And other than them being upset, I don't want to say that they were damaged. I think if they're the reasons that I'm plant-based, if they're the same, they're plant-based for the same reason, the goal would be to get them to stop doing that. And I don't know that suing, you get a lot of people that are angry. And I think the better thing is like have a good conversation with the manager, maybe put something on their Yelp. I think things are, if they believe in global warming and animal rights and cruelty and all those things, that they probably went vegan. That's a more effective route.
Denny's, we're living in a time where the cancel culture is very prevalent. The sue culture might be even worse. What are your thoughts on all that? So someone like that, vegan, gets eggs. Is it just a bad day? pull up your big boy or big girl shorts. Sometimes shit goes wrong. Quit acting like everything's, involving you with your bullshit.
Yeah. No, I just think it depends on where they're coming from. So if they're allergic to something and you get
Exactly.
it, then I'd be like really pissed off. But if I'm doing it because I'm trying to stay or abstain from eating animals or whatever, I'm trying to, not be cruel, then I'd be mad and I would just be like, hey, you guys need to fix that. And I would ask for a refund and bounce.
Yeah.
But what's your thought? Because so if you don't know, Denny's has to do all of the phone calls for the KVJ show, and he's on the front line of getting the worst of the worst when it comes to humanity. Because we have all walks of life that listen to our show. We have people who are awesome and honest and great people. We have people who are extraordinarily sexist and racist. It
Yeah.
depends on who
You got to try to feel them out.
And he gets a lot of shit. For example, even today, all of our computers went down. Everything went down. Denny's is literally scrambling. And Denny's arguably is the smartest guy in the fucking building. So people call
I appreciate that.
into the show and they think he's some weed-headed guy. Oh, Denny's is high again. That's not the case at all. And this one woman gave Denny's such shit today because everything shut down and the emails weren't able to print. And
On the air, on the phone, or in the
well,
studio?
we couldn't read her kid's birthday.
Oh, okay.
And Denny's explained to her 3 different times why we couldn't do it, why it didn't happen. And she still wanted to be so mean to him. Well, you fucking suck, and blah, blah, blah. You pothead, whatever. I mean, am I off on this?
I mean, it wasn't that harsh, but yeah, it was definitely like, do you guys even do your job, essentially? Because, I mean, I sent this in, and this is a super easy request. But I was like, hey, all our computers crashed. I'm like, we couldn't even print it. I was like, so we were reading it off a screen, so I was trying to just explain what was going down.
And when I say the whole pothead thing, because we talk a lot about pot with Denny's, people think he's like Cheech or something. And he can't get it together. Meanwhile, he's the smartest guy.
It is
in
a
the
number.
fucking-
It is
he's
a number
the
one.
smartest guy in the building.
Number one attack I do get usually if something goes wrong. So it's usually the go-to for
But
sure.
it just shows you that there's such a lack of patience and a lack of, I don't know, empathy, I guess.
Yeah, I think protesting and I think that's where you're going, right? The cancel culture and stuff, right?
because you would think she didn't say she's going to cancel us, but we've had that kind of attitude.
Right.
Unless
At that level,
yeah.
we consider her like a DEFCON 3 or 2. And that type of personality will go to a Leo. You guys need to be fired, or I'm hurt because it didn't work out for me in the moment, and now you all should die.
Well, we've had people lose contests on air and then tell our managers to give them tickets still. Like, even they'll be like, oh, well, can I still get those tickets? And I'm like, oh, sorry, we have to give it to the winner, the person that won the game. And then they'll call, they'll email Leo and they'll be like, hey, Denny's was being rude to me and I should get tickets. And then it comes back to me that I'm being rude to somebody.
They lie about it.
And I'm like, dude, I was not being rude. I told that lady she lost. Unfortunately.
Do you think he has a rude bone in his body?
We have to give it.
Hell no.
Well, we have to give it to the winner. You can't give it to the losers too. It just
Now,
doesn't make any sense.
With that said, Denny's he's hard. He's old school with if you don't win, you don't win. If you do win, you do win. That's how it goes.
It's just I mean, especially on a radio contest, you're lucky. People get mad that they're trying to win contests, and they're like, "Oh, I can never get through." And I'm like, "Yeah, because it's a radio contest. A lot of people are calling. Unfortunately, it's very difficult to get through."
Right.
I know it's different in the education field. You can't really cancel education, but you still have that mind frame of, I'm offended, I'm upset, so I want to shut everything down because I'm uncomfortable. Don't you get that in the education
absolutely.
field?
And it's because we started giving trophies for showing up. You need to start giving trophies for actually winning something, not just for participating.
Get him, Vicki!
And kids, like today, we were talking about our cafeteria system, and they were saying, well, they can't carry their trays to the window to dump it. They might drop it. Well, guess what? They didn't drop it when they got their food and walked to the table. So why can't I expect them to go and dump it at the window without dropping it? I should. Stop doing everything for your kids.
So the constant struggle for me is, am I getting too old and out of touch? And that's why I'm always asking people like Ariel, who's in her 20s, Denny's in your 30s, you're in your 30s, Suits is in it. I feel like they're all giving me the same answer. They are over whiny little bitches.
Yeah.
Can I get an amen on that?
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. I don't care what age you are at. If you are raised right, working hard, and not being a little bitch, you're over this victim mentality. Now, there's a time when you're a real victim, and I respect that. It's the bullshit. That's when you're not a victim, and then you get credit for being a victim. Then you get rewarded for it.
And like the woman that called in, she was upset because you couldn't do the birthday shout out. Did she pay for that birthday shout out? That would be a reason to be upset. If you thought you were sending this in and I paid $100 to hear, my child's name on the radio, that's a reason to get upset. Because something crashes that you can't control and you didn't get the shout out today. No, it was a freebie thing.
It's one of those things that I've learned being in the service business is no good deed goes unpunished.
Yeah.
Like you're doing a nice thing. You put that out there where you say kids' birthdays for free, put them on the air, and then something out of your control, and then someone wants to give you a tough time about it. And that's brutal. My former boss and mentor used to goes, Ryan, you could give $100 bills to 100 different people, and you're going to have some people that are going to complain about it. It's so true.
Yeah.
Like, I got to pay taxes on this. Like, you don't have this in 20s.
There's
like,
always 1 to 5
100%.
motherfuckers that want to complain about you. I'm at Disney World, it's free. But you know what? Mickey Mouse didn't walk by me, so I'm pissed.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, 18 and older.
Next time you're talking to Suits, ask him. He subscribes. It's like a Twitter feed of this captain of a cruise ship, and he posts the complaints he gets, and the complaints are insane.
So what do you mean?
Well, so one of the complaints was a lady wanted a free cruise because they didn't buy a Wi-Fi package and they didn't know there wasn't going to be Wi-Fi on the ship, so they demanded a free cruise. He gets complaints like that. So it's pretty awesome. He puts them all on blast. And Suits reads them to me like every week.
It really is. When someone complains about some just dumb bullshit, it's funny, but in the moment, it can.
Oh, it's real for you.
It can heat up your soul for sure.
And we're such a society used to it. I went out to eat the other day, and the waitress was phenomenal. So we said to her, can we talk to the manager? And of course, she thought it was negative. It took a while for the manager to come over, and you can tell he's like all nervous. He's wondering. I said, "Listen, we just want you to know this is like the best waitress we've ever had here. She is awesome." And the guy was like,
"I love it."
What? I mean, I said because everybody wants to talk about the negative. I want to talk about the positive. This woman's great, and I want you to know that.
Yep.
So life is so short. On your deathbed, don't you want to be on your deathbed going, you know what? I said a lot of nice shit to some people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there's so much dumb shit, and I will openly admit I get mad at dumb shit all the time. I think the older you get, you realize you shouldn't get mad at dumb shit. I mean, I'm talking dumb, not matters of the heart stuff.
I think you're more aware that you shouldn't get mad at dumb stuff, but little things, sometimes like stupidity, like grumpy old men, you also have no filter anymore, and you're kind of like, you know what, like, that's ridiculous.
But could you argue, though, those grumpy old men are doing nothing in their life to consciously be peaceful? They are just waking up every day with a broken body. They're pissed off at the world. They're doing nothing consciously to be positive. They're not trying to read spiritual textings. They're not trying to meditate. They're not trying to exercise. They're not trying to eat right. They're not trying to have connections with anybody.
Yeah, I agree with
and
that.
then at one point you wake up and you're a miserable bitch.
Yeah.
That I get. I've seen people at 65 on all spectrums where they wake up and they are excited to be 65 years old because they still believe they have something to offer to the world. And I love that.
I guess
that's the kind of person I want to be. Then there's other people who wake up at 65 and go, fuck the world. The world doesn't like me. I'm hurt. I'm this, I'm that. And then and I'm talking about people who are not legitimately hurt. They want to bitch and complain. I think so much of this game is mind frame.
Yeah. I think it's more of like I probably took some things in my 20s that I don't take anymore in terms of like standing up for myself or letting things slide. And I'm more candid with someone. I'm like, no, that's not right. Like, you can't do that. Not from like a grumpy old side. I just like don't let BS happen anymore, if that makes sense, as much.
I just don't want age to be a factor of why you're not doing well, because there's too many people who are older that are doing extraordinary things. Yeah, crushing it. And you can't sometimes use that. I think sometimes we use that as a crutch because society says, oh, you're X amount age and you can't do this or that. Says who?
Some of the most successful people I could rattle off a list right now that everyone's heard of can tell you about, usually from the bios I've read and motivational talks and things like that, had some really crappy stuff happen to him as a kid that a lot of people could use as an excuse or the victim mentality. And certain people took that horrible thing and made it into like their life's goal or their mission. So it's a lot of times on how you react to things, you know? That said, I've never gone through anything traumatic, so I've never judged someone until you walk in their shoes.
Definitely.
But I do think it's interesting, like whether you listen to a Tony Robbins or these people, a lot of the successful people that we know went through a tough time in life. So I think that goes to show you that it's a lot of times how you react to things.
Oh yeah,
big
it's the
time.
test.
Yeah.
Do you react with anger or do you react with love?
Well, there's a brilliant article, and I can't cite it off the top of my head, but the whole gist of the article was that people that are the most successful people on the planet are the ones that are able to fall off a horse, layman's terms here, and get. It's not that they're not hurt by falling off by their failures or by their arguments, but they don't hold on to it. I know that's a flaw in my character. There's so many things I could get done in my life. But if something personally happens to me and I get rocked emotionally, it takes me a day or two to kind of get back on my feet and get back on that horse. And that's a skill.
Yeah.
To be able to move on, still process it as a normal human being, but also realize and have the knowledge of going, yeah, feeling bad about it and feeling guilty or feeling worried or anxiety or depression, it's going to do me nothing. It's going to be nothing on the positive level. And they don't do that, and they get shit done because they don't have those kind of moments bringing them down.
Totally. There's actually a lot of research on this. There's a phenomenal TED Talk I encourage everyone to watch called It's About Grit. And it talks about how it's not the smartest guy that gets the doctoral degree. It's not the best athlete that necessarily wins the Super Bowl. It's the guy or the person that had the most grit, like to Jay Bird's point, like got back up, kept going. Because a lot of the guy that's born like some smart genius prodigy, he just doesn't have the grit to put himself through the process to get that Nobel Prize.
Well, if you don't need to, it's less inspiration.
Yeah, like a lot of rappers, they put out some of an artist and Ernest Hemingway and Eminem and like all these people, when they get real fat cats, become real wealthy, you see their writing of music go down a lot. And the new artists on the scene, they're just like putting it out.
They're thirsty. They're hungry.
Many people usually use Eminem and Ernest Hemingway as an analogy for an example?
It was an odd comparison.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
Real quick, the chat room's asking some questions. I do want to address a couple things. Someone said, I never get any kind of updates from Weird Whenever. I just kind of stumble upon it. You guys have to click the bell. You have to click that. If not, you'll never get
the bell on YouTube.
Yes, notification and the bell. If you don't hit the bell, you're not going to ever get it.
So subscribe, hit the bell, and I get every notification now. Anytime it just
and that would be for the KVJ show, but it'll alert
everybody, or everything that we do. So everything's filtered to the KVJ show. It just has to be that way. But if you hit the bell, you'll get everything. I totally get your frustration. A lot of people don't know that. I didn't know that till recently.
So they split it. It used to be just the one. Now you got to click both.
So just and again, after the video is over tonight, and loving the chat, a lot of great chat, a lot of great comments, a lot of great feedback. Especially last week, we had our most comments ever on any Weird and Whatever video. So please, after the video is done, after it populates, please put your comments down on the comment section. And the question of the night tonight is what, Vicki?
Oh, my personal thing?
Yeah.
You want to do that?
Let's do it. So this is going to be Vicki's question of the night. We want your opinion, and we will give a free reading to the person who has the best comment. Are we cool with this?
Yeah, they can get in line after the other 50.
Yes,
Yeah.
2 months.
It may be in 5 weeks or so, but you will get a free reading. The best advice for Vicki's dilemma, Vicki.
Okay. So, as you know, I work at a school site, and one of my afternoon duties is I stand basically between the incoming and outgoing parent pickup side. So I try to be friendly as I can, so people wave to me, I wave, they say hi, I say hi. So last week this guy rolls in and he says, something to the effect, "Hey, beautiful." Oh, and then he says something about, he's fishing. So he's like, "Oh, I hope your man knows how lucky he is," that kind of thing. I said, "Yeah, he does, been together 20 years.
Not to interrupt you, but do you have a man currently?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I said, yeah, been together 20 years, and I was thinking that would discourage him. So that was the incoming traffic. He comes back out, and he's like, oh, hey, you have a great weekend and all that, right? So
Laying on real thick.
he rolls in yesterday, same kind of friendly enough, but today he rolls in and he says, hey, sexy. Okay, so I personally feel uncomfortable. Now you've definitely crossed the line. I could be your kid's teacher for all you know.
And you also told him, hey, look, I got a man.
I got a man.
Back to F off.
Right. And so today he rolls in with sexy. So now I feel really uncomfortable about standing out in parent pickup, but I don't want to go to administration and say, listen, I feel like they're going to think I'm trying to get out of being out there in the street.
And you're also not trying to you're
Make a big
you're
deal.
not looking for conflict either. You just want to do your job.
And I certainly don't want them addressing him. This is a grown man. I don't want my principal and assistant principal going out and beat this guy down. But now I'm to the point where do I ask to get off of that particular afternoon duty, or do I ask? My idea is possibly having like a male member of school stand out there with me, because then he probably is not going to make comments. So if anybody wants to comment on my situation, give me some advice on how to handle it. I do have to say that now I am uncomfortable.
Okay, so I think the first part of it, I don't think you should ever fault somebody for trying. I think that's part of the game, you
Right.
know. But as soon as someone says, I'm not available and I have a man, you need to back the fuck off. And if you're not,
And instead he picked up his game.
Yes. Yeah, I would, you know what? I'm going to hold off on my opinion, actually.
Let's let the people talk.
In the beginning, again, I mean, and as a woman, let me know, do you think it's wrong for a guy to just, if he sees a girl in the right moment,
Right.
to where he wants to ask her out or at least try to pay her a compliment that you're not working with, is that okay to do?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's that part, but I think you definitely cross the line from, a general kind of comment that was, kind of
Totally,
vague. Maybe
yes.
maybe I looked down that day. Maybe he thought I was depressed. He was trying to,
Yeah.
brighten me or whatever. But when you go, I'm on a school site. I am standing in the parent pickup line, and you call me sexy when you're getting ready to go pick up 2 kids and put them in your car. That's
Can I ask you an honest question, though? In the beginning, when he was kind of hitting on you, was it an ego boost for you? Be honest.
Yeah, it was, but
Okay.
I also thought it was funny because, me, I got to crack the jokes. I'm like, oh, I'm really concerned. This guy's going through parent pickup. He obviously can't see very well.
So at that point, it's innocent, it's cute. And then,
Right.
then you were honest with him
And
and,
then
say...
it literally goes from Friday being funny and cute to now it's Wednesday. And we've gone to an uncomfortable situation.
Was there any response after the second time, the sexy comment? Did you respond, like roll your eyes, anything?
No, what I did is he said it when he was coming in, and it had started to sprinkle, so I had an umbrella. So I made sure when he was exiting, I turned my back to the outgoing traffic, and it was windy, so I held the umbrella so it came down over my face even more, so that I didn't have any contact with him as he exited. So I definitely I was trying to discourage, and I really need to be facing the way that he was going, because I need to watch for the buses to come in. But I purposely turned and pulled that umbrella down.
Okay, so a couple comments in the chat room, just to kind of give you a little appetizer. And then, again, please put your comments in the comment section. It helps us out so much. We've got Wooden Stash Dave, who says, you simply say, what you are saying is making me uncomfortable. Please stop. I'm here for work, for the kids. Thank you. Good day. Now,
That's good advice for somebody who has a little bit, believe it or not, I'm actually kind of shy. And I would be uncomfortable saying that to him.
I'm with you too. I mean, I'm not trying to make it uncomfortable. I get when you go out in the real world, some people are going to hit on you. They're going to ask you out, and you'll roll with the punches. Now, if it gets to the point where it starts to get to the harassment, or they're not leaving you alone, then it gets fucked. Honestly,
Right.
it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm just not, that's great advice for somebody else. For me, that's not going to work because I'm just not that way.
And a few comments are saying, yeah, Jay Bird, don't defend this guy at all. Again, I think we can live in the middle here.
Yeah.
In the real world, people are going to hit on people. I'm sorry if you can't accept that. You got to get over that. It's going to happen. It's just the way it is. It's like brushing your teeth. Now, with that said, there's ways to do that, and there's ways that are
Right.
inappropriate. And if it's inappropriate, you bring the fucker down.
I'm going to, like the person that I have in mind that I want to stand with me, he will definitely take care of the situation if this guy says something in his presence. But I just have to get administration to approve this person standing with me first.
And if you need the Jaybird, the Denny's, and the Beckett, the muscle.
These things
to,
aren't just for show.
Yeah, to make sure this son of a biscuit.
Yeah, but it did, like you said, it was a little flattering. I am on a diet. I lost a little weight, and I'm thinking, I'm feeling all confident and stuff, and maybe it's like, it's showing, and I'm like, okay, can't help the guy. I'm glowing here, right? So, but then, like today, it definitely turned.
Well, the
for
one
me.
thing I'm glad to hear is that in the beginning you weren't, oh my God, I can't
No.
believe
I thought it was kind of funny
Yeah,
and flattering.
Of course. I mean, that's going to happen sometimes.
But then when you turn it to what he said
inappropriate.
today.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
there's a line.
Yeah.
Don't fucking cross the line. Let's go. Get it together.
Hashtag be cool.
Denny, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, get it together. I mean, there's a definite line there.
People are saying keep it professional.
Hey,
No,
you're in a
for sure.
workplace with kids. You got to
Yeah.
keep it professional.
Oh, I bet you any money. And again, add this into the comment section. Guarantee you, if you're a teacher listening to this podcast, how many times has some weird parent hit on your ass?
Countless.
And have made you feel weird? Let us know your story down below. Guarantee we have so many comments about
Guaranteed.
that. Oh, come on. Good-looking
Yep.
teacher. Here comes the dad.
Yep, parent
Divorce or
conference.
not even divorce. Hey, how's my kid doing? Can I get some extra credit, Beckett?
Like some light, not as tan as the rest of his hand circle on his finger.
Yeah.
Clearly just took the wedding ring off. Hey, it's complicated. We have some more comments here on the email chain. Dear Weird Whenever, do you think people choose who they want to die in front of? My best friend passed away in front of me and her sister. 2 minutes later, her husband came in the room after she passed. Did she choose her sister and I, or a wax? I'm sorry, it's completely misspelled. Did she choose her sister, or was it a coincidence? Kate.
I completely believe that people will pass in the right circumstances with the people present. And ironically, there's a lot of people who prefer to pass alone. And I know of one particular case, she had been hanging on for hours and hours, and literally the family decides, listen, we're just going to step out for 2 minutes, and that's when she passed. And I firmly believe she did not want them there when she died. She didn't want them to be there for that last breath.
Why do you think that?
It's just, well, I mean, it's an impression that I get.
But why do you think some spirits or some people would
I
want
think people
that?
don't want, people may not want that person to see them take their last breath.
I can see
Vulnerability.
that. Yeah, I
you
can
know,
see that. Yeah.
I saw my mom take her last breath, and unfortunately for me, it was a little more drawn out because she had a pacemaker. So even though I know she's not breathing, the pacemaker, she still has readings on the chart, but I know that she's really not alive at that point.
Sure. Yeah, that's
And that
kind of
sticks with you.
Yeah.
that's
And
kinda-
I said my mom, actually, I have a funny story, if you could have one, about when she passed. There was like this weird smell in the room where she was, and they said, well, we're going to have to move her. And we're like, seriously? She's right in the middle of passing, and you want to move her to another spot? I almost feel like my mom was like, well, you're not going to move me. And she chose, before they could come back to go take her, she passed. And I think she just didn't want to be moved again.
Yeah.
You know?
I wonder all that kind of stuff. Thinking about my mom and Ann being so front row to all that. I feel like the first night that I was at my mom held on for a good 7 days, but I feel like she died that first night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was weird because they were trying to read her last rites, and then all of a sudden they stopped and said, oh no, we're going to try to keep her on. It was very bizarre, actually. I wonder why that was, because they were so adamant when I got to the hospital. Your mom's about to die. We need a priest right now. And then they kind of went in a corner and started talking. And then 10 minutes later, they said, oh, we're going to move your mom to another room, and we're going to see what we can do. But I mean, I feel like she had died that night. Honestly, I felt
Right.
it. I really did. She was alive on a semantic level, but I feel like, God bless you.
Yeah.
We have to still do, you just reminded me, Ariel's dating game. All right, enough of this depressing shit. Ariel, get over here. Let's go. Come on. We'll switch with Denny's. Ariel is our new producer of the Weird Whenever podcast. Make some noise. Woo! She is single. She is 26 years old. She is a Virgo, Taurus, Cancer. Okay, she's a Cancer. Ariel, what are you looking for in life, and why all of a sudden now do you make a statement, Jaybird? Let's do a little dating game.
Well, lately I've been feeling that I need someone in my life to carry on the rest of my life with.
Okay.
And I've gotten a lot of like signs and signals like open up your heart, let love in, because I'm very shy and I'm very
Are you shy?
like,
Are you shy?
I am very shy. I'm very like not closed off, but I am very
Selective.
selective, and I don't talk about my feelings a lot.
Why do you think that? Is that childhood? Your parents raising you? Were you not open?
No, I'm very like receptive to other people's feelings, and I want to help as much as I can. But for me to like let go and let people in, it's a little wishy-washy.
Gotcha. So Ariel, if you're playing at home, kind of a deep chick over here. Very, very cerebral. I like that. Okay, what else? What else? What are you looking for? If you had now, are you into guys? What's your preference?
Yes,
Just so people know.
Yes, I do like men,
Okay.
solely men.
What are you looking for? If the dream guy that would give you butterflies, what would that? Give me 3 points of butterflies. What would it take for Ariel? 3 major points.
Funny,
All right.
sensitive,
All right.
and likable. Like, I have a big family, so if my family doesn't like you, it's kind of a deal breaker.
All right. I'm
for
gonna
me.
throw this abs. Don't really care about abs.
I don't have abs, so I wouldn't expect you to have abs.
Abs are so overrated, Beckett. Get out of my house. Get out of my house right now, you abs son of a bitch. All right, back to Ariel. Okay, I like this. This is good. So you are looking for somebody that you can connect with on a spiritual level, so to speak.
That too, yeah.
Okay. What else would you, if this was a dating game, what would you want to sell to be like, all right, this is my attribute. This is gonna get the people in.
Well, like I said before, I'm very open to anything. I have a very open mind, no judgment. You can tell me you killed someone and buried them in the backyard, and I'd be like, okay, well, that's why. Mm-hmm. But there's no like animosity or judgment in my heart. So for me, that's my biggest trait that I tell everyone. I'm easy to talk to. Apparently, I'm funny. Don't quote me on that.
I think you're hilarious.
I appreciate that.
In fact, me and Denny's, the nickname when you're coming, a laugh riot is coming over. Okay, how about this? Now, let's say you have a really great date. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're talking 5 hours of some really good stuff. He's into you, you're into him. He tries to kiss you goodnight. Would you rather have a gentleman give you a kiss on the cheek or going all in?
Well, it just depends.
Okay, good answer, I think. Vicki, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. Good answer.
All right, Vicki, I want to delve into that because something tells me you had some crazy nights.
Told you it's the quiet ones you watch out for.
That's true.
All right, I like this, Ariel. And is there an age? Is there an age gap for you?
Well, my highest I'd go is probably 10 years. I'm 26, so I wouldn't mind dating a 36-year-old. My parents are 10 years apart.
Okay. Hey, Vicki, do me a favor. Mm-hmm. Could you ask Ryan Beckett how old he is?
Mr. Beckett, how old are you?
37.
Well, all right. Oh, we missed it by a year.
He missed the cut.
Dang it, I'm so bad I'm bad at math. I'm not a mathlete. I'm not a mathlete. All right. Okay, and final statement. Oh, you know what? I'll open up to the panel. This is a dating game. What do you guys got? Griller.
You go first.
Oh, great.
We're trying to
you
find
just
love
asked.
here.
You asked for so that's 10 years below. That puts it 16. So do we have to do legal?
Yes,
Oh, God,
wait,
yeah.
16,
Okay.
Vicki. What are we
Well,
trying
she
to
said 10 years. So I'm just making sure it wasn't 10 years.
Even the podcast is 18 and over.
I think
Just making sure.
I think we knew it wasn't Kiss from 1972. That
Just making sure.
she ain't no Gene Simmons.
No. Yeah, it'd be my age or higher. Anybody younger than me. I'm considered an old soul, so anybody younger than me, I'm very childlike, but the way I think is very mature.
Are you affectionate?
Yes, very much.
If
so.
you're comfortable.
Yes.
Okay, I love it.
Would you prefer to go out or do indoor activities where you're staying more at home?
Both. For me, I'm comfortable being at home, but I require, as a human, I think I require to be out and about and doing activities. I'm very spontaneous. I love the outdoors, nature.
If you were dating somebody, they were perfect, smelled great, great dresser, great personality, but they had manatee hands, like flaps for, are you in? Or lobster hands?
No.
Really? Okay.
I
All right.
mean, why? Well, I wouldn't say no, but like, why?
You don't
I need a backstory.
You don't have to feel guilty about that. That's your answer.
I would need a backstory. We
Don't
could be
feel guil-
friends.
don't
Well,
feel guilty
how about
that.
a more realistic question? What physical attribute would turn you off the most? Like big nose, big
Oh
ears?
gosh, I'm gonna sound horrible, but like Tic Tac teeth, when I can only see your gums,
Oh.
it really irks me.
Damn, you shout. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
That's
All right.
the only thing that just like
Tic Tacs
ooh,
need not
yeah,
apply.
ugh.
Would you all argue that everybody on this planet is shallow to some certain
Yes.
extent?
Oh, I'm super shallow.
Absolutely.
And you shouldn't feel guilty about that because I feel like it's in our DNA, right? I mean, I think you can control it and not be mean about that, but I think we all have a sense of shallowness no matter what it is. It could be teeth, it could be, you don't like the Rams, it could be anything. But as humans, even Gandhi, Mother Teresa, are they shallow to a certain level?
Well, Mother Teresa wasn't dating. So
I'm not saying, I don't think you have to date to be shallow. I think you could be
some deep
completely celibate and not date
some
and be
deep
shallow.
some deep people can have some shallow things, right? It's not just like binary. It's not just one or the other. Which would the question I was going to ask her is, what are you passionate about?
I'm very passionate about being as creative as I can,
Okay.
only for the simple fact that I've been not as creative in the past few years, that I saw a difference in myself. And so when it came to a point where I could be creative and found my creativeness come out, it was when I felt most myself. So I bullet journal, I do podcasts, produce. So I work a 9-to-5 regular job. So anytime I can be creative in any type of way, however that comes about.
Chewy, she's
I'm
single.
about it.
Chewy, she is single, and so is Chewy.
But I think that's
Human beings only apply.
that's important because we've asked a couple shallow surface level questions, and someone listening that might be interested. It's important to know because I think that the best relationships on the long term, not necessarily the short term, because you can have a flash in the pan because you're really attracted to someone or something like that, but is when things are more deep, are in alignment. And so if someone else is passionate about the creative side, or even sometimes the yin and the yang can match. Like I sometimes find that I date the opposite of my personality. I'm very type B. I'm more kind of like wide open, whatever. And I tend to date really type A, like tough girls, right? And it's my yin and the yang. But I think it's important to be self-aware, which it sounds like you are, about what you're passionate about. Because maybe that would be another creative that's important for you to be with. Or maybe you like some guy that comes home from finance every day and it gives you balance in your life.
I'm not trying to be harsh here with my statement here. Opposites, and I think I always say this, they are great for a physical week or two.
You don't think long term?
Fuck no. If me and you are opposite with matters of the heart, that shit's not going to last more than 3 months. We will have great sex. And
Not matters of the heart, though. I'm saying in terms of like, and when I say type A, type B, like I'm clean, but I'm not organized. And when I say type A, I've dated girls that are very like, they would be the one to balance the checkbook. They'd be the one that would have like the organized things. And that's a very different, I think, more on its surface, but could be really annoying to someone actually. But it's more of a yin yang. But I agree with you. Matters of the heart, you will 100% have to be in line with.
I always use Denny's as my my example. If Denny's is a female, I would lock that shit up right now. Only because we are so different on emotional levels.
Okay.
But the way we handle things emotionally, although we agree, the center of our opinions always agree, but how we would handle it is different. That, I think, you can work with.
So it's like a Venn diagram, which is the overlap of commonality,
Yes.
right? Which is the core of it, right?
We're different, but we're the same. But the different does not affect the overall thing.
Yeah.
Now, when you're talking about, okay, Denny's loves weed. If Jen had a problem with weed and Denny's loves weed, he either has to give it up or she has to accept it. And if you both dig your heels in, you're going to have a fucking problem.
Well, the crux of it, I think that someone can make you better, which in a difference is kind of a change, but someone shouldn't change who you are as a core, right?
And then again, there's semantics about what is better. That's an opinion. Not, what's better for you may not be better for me.
That's true. Well, I think that would be a question for that individual to answer themselves. Like, I feel bettered, honestly and candidly, with themselves. I feel like I'm bettering myself with this person.
Well, I mean, not to get so controversial, but if you have somebody who's pro-life and then you have somebody who's pro-choice and they're married together, y'all got some fucking issues. And that's a matter of the heart kind of thing that I'm talking about. That's gonna probably
That's true. But that's at the core of someone's religion usually. So I agree with you.
Not always, though. Honestly, you don't have to be pro-choice or pro-life and be religious.
Right.
Some people can have that stance and just that's what they believe.
Because I know some people that are extreme Republican conservatives that are extreme liberal, and although you don't see it a ton, but like I know people in very happy marriages that have very different political views. But I think when you go down into something like that, like that's pretty.
I mean, that's big time matters of the
Yeah,
heart.
yeah.
What do you think, Vicki?
Well, I hate to be basic, but he just brought in Venn diagram. Remember last week I pointed that he's trying to take Denny's job? And now, once again, he has pulled out where he's trying to take the educator when he pulls in the Venn diagram. Really?
No. Make notice of Beckett. He's here to take all of our jobs.
I
And then it's
know.
going to just be the Beckett podcast. And then we're going to be working for
Yeah,
Beckett.
he's going to come in here possessed next week just to take your job.
I mean, people want you to go back into the room.
But at least you'd be able to cleanse me quickly because I would play by the rules really quickly.
Ooh.
I would go and stay at Vicky's house or do whatever I need to do.
So we've been going on this podcast for 84 minutes. I have to piss like a racehorse. And I want to do Denny's random facts. Would you rather? Can you guys handle this for about 2 minutes?
Okay.
All right.
I have something to say. Well,
Go.
I'll just kill some time. I did get an overwhelming response for the donations and the free readings, and I know that some people have emailed me. I did send everybody like a form email to say I received it. I know you're in line. I have started the readings. Just please be patient. I did not forget you. I'm basically doing them in order of the way I received them. And it is a little complicated. There's tons of them, and they're mixed in with like point emails for investigations and things like that. So it is a process, but I have done readings and I am currently booking them. The only thing that I do ask is if I send you an email and we establish a day and time, I always put it on you. I always say, call this number at that day and time. Please set a calendar reminder because I've had a couple people not call me, and then it's going to be really hard because then I got to loop and put this other person, back into the mix as I'm trying to do all of them. So please just make sure that you set, a reminder once I've set a date so that you can call me.
I'm still peeing.
No, I find that fascinating that you're able to have a job, 9-to-5 job,
Yeah.
still do investigations, raise children, and do readings.
Yeah. And I do ask people just to please be patient. I mean, there's only so many hours in the day, and there's certain days that I will not schedule a reading because that's family time or this is the time that I do this, that, and the other.
Right.
So, I mean, it is going to be a process, but I promise everybody will get their free one. They just have to be patient.
And do you meet him somewhere? And it's for
It's
how long?
phone.
It's
on the
it's
phone.
phone on the phone for like about 15 minutes.
I've had them run 15 minutes and I've had them run an hour.
Oh, well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it just depends on the person. It depends on how much they need. It depends on how much they want to talk to me. Yeah, I try not to cut them off, but I am scheduling them an hour apart. So pretty much an hour is going to be the max because I've scheduled the next one after that.
Got
Gotcha.
it. Awesome.
That was beautiful. I think. All right, a couple of quick would you rather questions, and we'll end this thing. I know it's getting late, Denny's, come on over. Ariel, thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you want to get involved, send a picture. Don't send me some cryptic bullshit. I'd love to date Ariel. I live in Port St. Lucie and I'm 80. No, send me a picture with all kind of dating stuff, guys.
A recent picture.
Yes, always send pictures, guys. Come on.
And no dick pics.
Get it together. No. If you send a dick pic, you're out of the weird and whatever clan. Sorry. Okay, would you rather see and speak to the dead people like the movie Sixth Sense, or have the ability to heal all animals that are hurt?
Heal animals.
Animals.
Did I ask that before? That's different. That's new, right?
I think it's a little different than you've asked before.
Yeah. I think they already had their answers locked in.
Yeah.
As soon as you put animals in it, I'm there.
So you would rather heal animals than to speak to dead people? I mean, you kind of do speak to dead people. Don't you?
I speak to dead people already.
But let's say you
and
don't.
it is great. It is great. It's nice. Like, I had a reading last night that was very healing for the person. I mean, she cried the whole reading. And that's great to know that you're part of the process of healing. But being able to heal animals, I have such a soft spot for animals. And it's to the point where I can't hear about any animal abuse or any injuries because it just affects me too much. So to have the power to heal an animal, that would be incredible.
Beckett?
Animals. Yeah, it's easy.
All right.
I'll talk to dead people.
I'm going to talk to, I don't know, healing people or healing animals would be kind of cool. Sorry, Dennis, you're alone on this one. I want to heal a deer that just got shot.
I felt that deer die.
Yeah, he healed the deer after it got shot. Then all of a sudden, these country fucks. What the shit was that?
Right.
Are you talking about the movie Powder?
I am.
With Sean Patrick Flannery.
Okay, would you rather be forced to take acid once a day for the rest of your life?
I'll do that one.
Or,
I'm kidding.
or I mean, you never know when it's gonna hit though, Denny. You're at work and Kevin's asking you shit.
He had the answer locked in.
You're on full on acid. I don't know, man.
Oh, I'd be a lunatic.
Or you are forced to run 25 miles a day every day for the rest of your life.
Hell no.
You're going acid?
Hell no. I would never want to run 25 miles a day. Ever. Never, ever.
Vicky, I mean, you can't,
I'm going to have to run.
that sucks.
Yeah.
I'll be a lunatic just wandering.
I gotta run too. There's no way I could do acid. I already feel like I'm on acid. I don't want anything else. Fucking this game up, Beckett. What do you got?
25 miles a
Well, I
day.
mean, yeah, he'd be like 25. That's it. I want to run 50
10-minute miles,
in Peru.
250 minutes.
In Peru.
Oh my god.
All right. Would you rather? So this is a Denny's question. So I do not want to take the heat on this.
This is what I said.
Yes,
last
it is. Would you rather fight puke or poop?
Fight what?
You gotta fight either
Fight it.
poop or puke.
It's
You gotta,
it's a lowbrow question, Beckett. It's
I believe Bird asked me right as we were about to go on.
give me one. I have 4 questions. Give me one more because I don't know. Would you fight puke or poop? But I'm gonna write that down to see what Beckett has to say.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's a tough one.
It is. That's what I
Well,
said.
you have to give me your answer and explain why. In fact,
What kind of poop?
It's the kind you don't like.
It's
Because
exactly.
if it's horse poop, it's like
It's-
dry. You
No,
can just
it's
kind of like
human.
swat it to
Okay,
the
the
side.
answer to that is nay. It's not horse poop. It's,
Rabbit poop are like little tiny dots. Have you
No.
seen rabbit
It
poop?
is.
It's so funny.
It's not rabbit. It's a guy named Jake from Port St. Lucie.
Okay, vomit.
No. Greg from Port St. Lucie. Even worse.
Greg's worse than that?
Greg's worse than Jake.
I don't know. Jake sounds like he just like ate his meal at 7-Eleven.
Yeah, totally.
Greg sounds like he possibly ate his uncle's arm.
I would
I'm
rather
going puke.
Yeah, I'd rather fight puke. That's a
All
tough
right,
one.
let's move on. All right, last couple questions here. Would you rather make love to a Forrest Gump
All right.
or to Sloth from the Goonies?
Who's Sloth Magoonie?
Sloth from the Goonies?
You ever see the
Sloth.
Goonies, Baggett?
I think so, a long time.
Oh. You ever see Forrest Gump? That's such a good
Vicky.
movie.
Yeah, I saw Forrest Gump.
That's a great movie.
Well, I mean, in his defense, it did come out a long time ago.
He's not that young. He's young. He's not that young. The motherfucker should know Goonies.
I saw
Sloth-
Goonies for a long time.
Goonies, that's actually the one time I won tickets from a radio station. It was Y100. I know that don't have flashbacks. It was Y100.
Vicky, we can't talk about that station.
Our competitor?
And they had a call-in thing. It was before school, and I called in, and I actually won tickets.
That's how you
Goonies.
know how old Y100 is. Because I used to call that shit too back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Beckett, We're old.
Yeah.
But you're circle. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm coming close.
You're 37.
37 and turned 37 in July.
You look great.
Thanks,
You
man.
have a glow. Vicky, you have a glow too. Denny's.
It's
Yeah,
the light.
clearly.
Denny's. I mean, you always are on point.
thank
Ariel,
you.
I love you. Chewy.
Is that character on Goonies male or female?
How do you not know?
Look up Sloth. He's pretty iconic.
Ariel, do you know Sloth? Are you shitting me? Okay. Also in the comment section, give me a manifesto towards Beckett about why or how he does not know.
Sloth. And his favorite candy bar.
Yeah, give us your opinion down there with Beckett. It's inexcusable. All right, and last question.
Sloth.
We'll wrap.
It's definitely Forrest Gump, obviously. Sloth is gross.
I don't know. Sloth had a heart of a lion. Gump almost is too good.
Yeah.
It's like
I'd go Gump.
It's
Gump
like
lived
dating
an
someone that's
extraordinary-
too smart. I don't know.
He'd be like, Dene.
Yeah.
When we make love.
Dene. I did this today. What did you do? I ran by the president. What did you do? I ran by Kevin.
Yeah.
All right, last question. Give me your all. As Beckett's texting, when you line up.
I was looking up Goonies.
Someone lining up some ass for later. Would you rather wake up and realize you banged a kangaroo, or wake up and realize you hooked up with your first cousin? Oh, Vicky. Vicky, don't look happy. Kangaroo's
That's a tough one.
Kangaroo's rough.
They got good physique, though.
I think I would go kangaroo because
I think I could get past it.
I think I would go kangaroo because it's by the way you worded it, I wouldn't remember it. You just wake up and
No,
that's
no.
when you realize. So I would go with that.
It's your
Ah,
worst
there's your
nightmare.
loophole.
and then I don't have to have any like awkward
Yeah,
family
it's not like the
dinners.
kangaroo's gonna call you, or
Right,
anything.
exactly.
I didn't finish the question. So
He's making this.
every third day when you drive by that one corner you work at, kangaroo, boom, looks at you on the side of the street. When you walk in your
with a
office,
full pouch.
when you walk in your office, you
wants
see that kangaroo hopping
child support.
outside. Yeah, full pouch, Becky.
Where's my money, Beckett?
3 to 4 times a week, you see
Next thing you know, my paycheck's getting garnished.
the kangaroo definitely hops by you and looks at you. So the
yeah.
kangaroo's around.
That's fine.
All right, you're going kangaroo.
Going with the rule.
Vicky.
Kangaroo.
Wow, you freak.
How about you?
Well, I don't want to sound weird, but I always had a crush on my first cousin. I'm kidding. I couldn't do that. That's incest. I gotta bang. I guess I gotta go bestiality. Denny's?
That was fun. I think I went Rue.
Okay, and if you have a problem with that question, again, send those complaints to Kevin Ralston at the KVJ show.
Send it to his personal.
Anybody has anything to plug? We're good?
My cousin's he's the that new movie Abominable.
Nope.
So there's a new like a Pixar
It's an
DreamWorks
animated film.
Animated film He was-
About your boy, right? The Yeti, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Yeti. So my cousin's grandfather was the first guy to summit Mount Everest with Sir Edmund Hillary. He was a local from Nepal, Tenzing Norgay. So my cousin's name is Tenzing. And then it's got my uncle's last name. But he was a Disney actor growing up. And he got the voiceover as one of the main characters at then.
Oh, that's
so the
awesome.
reason I bring it up is I really encourage everyone to support it, go see it. It's in the movie theaters. It's got a lot of great reviews. Apparently, I haven't got a chance to see it. I'm gonna see it this week. But just appreciate the support of my cousin.
That's awesome. People are asking how to get us questions and emails. Yes, of course, you can do mail at kvjshow.com. We're trying to get people to go to the Instagram at it's Jason KVJ on Instagram. Jason KVJ on Instagram. Send us your questions there as well. We get a lot of emails. In fact, I get a lot of my personal prep from the Instagram. The KVJ emails are great, but there's so many of them. Instagram at Jason KVJ. Sign up, follow, and then you'll get a lot of updates.
I would say since we're in the early part of the month, since it's October, this should be we talked about the month that we shine, being it's Halloween.
Oh, we're doing,
Yeah,
we're doing something.
So maybe any suggestions from the
Yes.
chat group or
Yes.
anything like that? They want to input ideas.
Yeah, there was. We already did that, and they want to see you go through a haunted house. So I say that we go to Fright Nights.
Ow, ow,
I'm into that.
Wreck it, Beckett. Yeah.
I'm into it.
Shirtless. Yeah, but seriously, if you have any questions and you feel like you've sent them to the KVJ account, send them to Jason KVJ and
Yeah,
make
slip
sure.
them into those DMs.
Yeah, DM my ass. Okay, guys, thank you so much for your support. We really do love you all. I promise, we are working on in October get together, meet and greet. It's happening in October. Deal?
Deal.
Deal.
It's happening. Even if motherfuckers just come to my house, it's happening in October.
I like it.
We love you all, and
Bigfoot is real.